How's it going?
Not bad. Today was a good
Awesome.
day.
Yeah, it wasn't too shabby today at work. I actually feel relaxed. I don't feel so pent up and aggressive like I did yesterday. So
Well, I had like some crazy kids to deal with, but it was, I mean, I'd take that class 100 times over the class I had to do with yesterday.
yeah, I wouldn't want to deal with junior high either. That sounds like a bitch.
But you know what? I'm a glutton for punishment because another teacher from that school called, like, texted me today and was like, "Hey, can you watch my class?" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be the same kind of kids." Anyways, that's
fair enough.
That'll be fun.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Grody to the Max episode tonight. Two of our co-hosts aren't here right now. That would be Guest and Stanley Orchard, but we're hoping that they'll catch up with us later on in the episode. But until they come up, we're going to be talking about the Fantastic Four and the latest trailer that came out, and we're going to be discussing some new information that we got about the film from the trailer and trying to see how it's going to adapt into, you know, Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars and all that jazz. But yeah, I was really excited when I saw the first Fantastic Four trailer, and then they started talking about all that bullshit that we don't want in our films anymore.
Man, I was excited. The trailer looked cool, and then I saw Silver Surfer and was just, it's like 8 years ago all over again. Why? I know she's like the argument is, oh, she's not gender swapped. She's a real character. That character in the comics was a gender swap, and it's like no, man, no. And I'm all about seeing some chrome babe on screen, right?
Sure,
I don't mind, but that's not a babe. She's not.
Well,
she's not the Silver Surfer girl.
Not the actress that they picked for her. She might look good in chrome, but I honestly don't even know her name. She's one of those actresses that you've seen around, but you don't really remember her from anything. You're just like, oh, that face.
Yeah, and of course they do, and that's kind of the whole cast except for Pedro Pascal. In this case.
And I don't see Doom really coming into play here. We're really playing up Silver Surfer and Galactus again.
Yeah, that's a little weird. There's a couple things to note on that, like with the with Galactus and Silver Surfer being like they just did that movie. You know, the last one, whatever. They've already done it, and now they're doing it again. So maybe they're going to do it right, but they're already fucking that up because this Silver Surfer girl, it feels like, I don't know, there's a way to do it right where I would have been like, oh yeah, I totally get why we're doing Silver Surfer girl now. But they didn't do that in this trailer.
Well, I've actually got a rebuttal to that, but don't hold me to it. I'm just going to give 2 cents on it. But before we do that, we're going to get to the chat real quick. We got D-Wag in the house. Bow, baby. What's going on? And then, of course, we have the Don. What's going on, Don?
Don, what's up, man?
Happy to have you here, man.
What do you think about this Fantastic Four?
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys are thinking about it so far, because I'm hyped, but the idea behind Invisible Woman telling us about what gender fluidness or gender identity is in the film, I don't want to hear about any of that.
I didn't even catch that part.
I heard something about that through the grapevine that she's going to be.
I thought she was going to be feminist. I didn't know she was going to be like.
She can be feminist. I don't give a shit about that. Yeah. But and then I heard that Johnny Storm wasn't going to be the big playboy that he was, which I really don't give a shit about that part. And we'll discuss why.
Well, yeah, okay. We'll talk about it after. I was going to say, like, Johnny Storm, that makes sense to have him calm down, right? To have him tone it down a bit. Once you understand that he was
the exact same as Chris Evans was. I mean, what?
Well, here's the thing. You start him off like a hothead, whatever, like a hot rod. Then he learns a lesson, and then he cools it down. And then you got character development. Just starting him off like a softie, like, oh, I love you, sister. Yeah. It's like, bruh, come on.
The Don says, no booby Silver Surfer is bullshit. Pedro as Reed is bullshit. Galactus jogging down New York streets is bullshit. Sue Storm is hot.
Really? I didn't think she's that hot, but
I didn't either. But, you know, to each their own. That's fine. Hang on one.
And I could take the Silver Surfer girl, if they did it right.
Yeah.
But when I hear her
Well,
talk, I'm not feeling it. I'm just like, you're an annoying bitch. I don't
yeah,
really.
they gave her that kind of like warped, steel, echoey voice when she talks. You know, it
Yeah.
kind of warps.
Well, it's not like that cold, distant, Norrin Rad voice.
No, not at all. But there might be a catch to that. So hang on. Let's check out the latest trailer.
Yeah, let's see this.
Okay. Hang on one second. Let me bring it up for everybody. Again, I am happy to be joined by the Dawn, and D-Wag posted at 1:15. If he comes back, awesome. If not, but here we go. All right, here is the latest trailer. Where is the play button?
Well, click on the screen. Turn it off and on.
Oh, there we go.
Unplug it and then plug it back in. Oh, wait, there we go.
Wow, folks, we all know the story. 4 brave astronauts head up into space and come back forever changed.
This car?
Okay. How do you feel about the Thing?
I like it so far. There was that clip we watched in the teaser where his voice doesn't seem to be like the Thing, but this is cool. I don't mind this. This trailer is cool. I like it.
It would be so simple to come at this story from everybody finds him repulsive and scary, but the kids actually embrace him. I really like that idea. We're playing on the old, like, since this takes place in like the 50s or 60s or whatever, it like shows the way the kids would act in the old TV shows. Like they embrace him. Cool.
Well, you know what? That's a good point. Growing up, of course, now comics are different now, right? Like the cool characters are not the same cool characters when I was growing up. The Thing versus the Hulk. Like, who would you say was more popular in like the late 80s, early 90s? The Thing, I think, was a more likable character by it. Like,
the Thing was more likable character, but I still think the Hulk took the trophy home in popularity.
It's possible. I don't remember really caring about either one of them, but if I was going to say Hulk smash or whatever the Thing says, I guess that says it in itself. I don't know what the Thing says.
Oh, the Thing says it's clobbering time.
Oh, that's right. It's clobbering time. Yeah. I don't know why that didn't pop in my head. It's clobbering time or Hulk smash. Like, I don't know. It's a tough one. They were neck and neck. Clobbering time might actually take the gold on that one.
It's more classy. Like it has like more of that like spunk to it. You know, it's got more pizzazz to it rather than just Hulk smash. It's like
Hulk smash is like some idiot saying like
it's clobbering time. It sounds like a Rocky Balboa.
It's a cool thing to say. Hulk smash is just like your low IQ.
It's clobbering time, man.
Yeah, you could say that with anything. Like you got a pizza in front of you. It's like, all right, it's clobbering time. You look at a pizza and say Hulk smash, and that doesn't mean the same thing.
No, not at all. But I actually enjoy the design that they brought here. I really like it. It kind of looks like the styrofoamy look from 2004, but it looks way more realistic in this shot, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the best Thing design, I think, yet. I like the whatever original Fantastic. It's not the original, but the Fantastic Four. Yeah, it's like you were saying, the styrofoam.
Yeah,
that actor was like perfect for the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is probably the next best out of everything we've seen from the Thing.
I don't remember what his name is from the 2004 film that played the Thing, but I really liked him as the Thing.
Hold on, it wasn't 2000. Oh yeah, 2000. I was thinking 94. I was like, that wasn't 90. 2004. No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that one was. I don't know if you could beat that, except with the costume. And this is better. This is definitely better.
Yeah,
they should have brought him back.
Oh, totally, 100%. All right, we'll continue.
This
You
car?
know, just cheering them on. They want to see them pick shit up. I
Our
love it.
city, our planet, owe a debt to these intrepid souls. And while we can never repay them, we can certainly celebrate them.
Thank you,
I do like
Fantastic
this.
Four. Thank you.
Thank you, Fantastic Four!
Everybody loves them. This is their universe, you know?
Yeah.
Their world. There's no X-Men or Avengers running around, as far as we can tell. This is like
100%.
their universe, and their universe is about to get threatened, and that's
Mhm.
that is a cool. When you got a multiverse, this is actually kind of refreshing. Like they've got their own little universe, and they're happy. It's like a happily ever after kind of universe.
Yeah, because when they kept talking about when they started talking about the multiverse and actually hinting at it in Spider-Man, what was it, Far From Home with Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio? We're like, okay, cool. And then they like brought in, you know, all the Spider-Man villains from the different dimensions for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
I thought that was as far as it was going to go with the, you know, different dimensions and
And
all
Doctor
the
Strange,
universes.
like it was an interesting idea, and I'm not a hater on the multiverse like most people I think are,
Right.
but I do understand like the writing. What do you call that? Like the cop out when it comes to writing. You can just explain anything away with a multiverse. But what's interesting in this aspect, when you have a multiverse, and you can literally do writers loophole, whatever, cop out writing. But when you have like a little secret verse, like don't mess with this universe. These guys are good. Like they have the Fantastic Four universe. It's cute, and I like it. And they all love the Fantastic Four in this universe.
So, as we saw in the backgrounds through the different shots that we just saw, remember that when we get to the end of this, because I'm gonna show some similarities to a different film that I spoke about in the past, and we're gonna compare.
All right.
Please welcome the Fantastic Four.
Classic outfit.
I like the outfits. Hey, Tank Fair, what's going on?
There. Look at that. Those are the classic suits.
I like it. I like that.
What's going on, Tank Ferret? Hail to all of you magnificent bastards and bastards. I love it.
Yeah.
Dude, welcome to the party. I've actually been hanging out on his channel a couple times lately, and you know, he did that piece for me for Cobalt and everything.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he actually has a really good stream, man. He does a draw stream, and he has guests on it. So yeah, anybody around here, go over to Tank Ferret and subscribe and check him out.
Yeah. I don't know
He
if I'm subscribed
goes
yet.
on for hours, and as long as he has a co-host on there to go like to pick up when he leaves to like go get coffee or something, this thing goes on for hours. I don't understand how he does it.
Oh, I have to subscribe, Tank.
But I'm envious, man.
I'll go check it out,
Tank
man.
Ferret, yeah, man, you got a fun channel to hang out in. But yeah, these are the old classic costumes. I love these. These are such a throwback. And
Yeah, I do too, man. I like these costumes. They look cool. They're fun. They don't look cheesy like you know the old costumes and stuff. Everybody trying to do that. You can easily go wrong by doing that. And
100%.
These look great. These look good costumes, man.
like they look exactly like the 1994 film, except, you know, cloth instead of whatever you want to call this.
Yeah. Now this movie, by the way, is fun. It is weird and it's cheesy, but it is a fun movie to watch, especially the cheap, like weird, like when, if anyone's seen it, you know what I'm talking about. When Mr. Fantastic's foot, they're like entrapped in these energy cages, and his foot like stretches underneath, but it's not like it's stretching. It's like they just have his foot, and then it angles and then goes up. It's so cheesy.
Total cheese. So this is the 1994 unreleased film, and you can find it when you go into the web and you search for it.
Oh, dude!
And it is full of so much cheese, but each actor's giving it all because they thought they were going to make a real film out of it.
Yeah. And Dr. Doom was kind of cool in that, I thought.
Yeah, I would actually like them to release this on a second DVD with the new film when it comes out on Blu-ray. I think that would be sweet.
Yeah, why don't they do that? They release it finally on DVD or release it to theaters. That'd be cool.
No kidding. And yeah, dude, that looks like not Jim Henson Muppet outfit for the thing, but definitely that old animatronic face and like
they did it.
Rubber suit.
Yeah, and then of course I think this beats that one they recently, the last Fantastic Four movie where like.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan and all them? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. This beats the shit out of that. So
that 2017 filth.
Yeah.
Let's get back to the chat real quick. Ben Soto has joined us. Hail, fellow nerds. What's going on, Ben? Always happy to have you.
What's up, Ben?
Tank says, we always welcome those who want to jump in the cockpit and fly with us on the digital bullpen. There you go. Yeah. I just like hanging out in the chat sometimes because unless I'm like scheduled to go on somebody else's channel, I don't want to just jump in and disrupt. I feel like I disrupt anyway. But
yeah, me too. That's what I don't. I do it on purpose though.
Right. Ben Soda says, I like this Sue Storm better than the new one. Yes, 100%. And
I haven't seen the new one, so I can say other than the trailers. And it doesn't look horrible.
Oh, I see. You want to see how the character interacts with everything first, not just the trailer.
Looks-wise, this one definitely looks way better, in my opinion. The new one looks kind of like Lady Gaga. I don't know. I'm seeing Lady Gaga every time I see her.
This is definitely the
this one's way
homemaker. This is the homemaker suit storm here.
She's not going to be wearing a meat suit anytime soon.
No, not at all. We need an official release of this. 100%. They need to make it an extra... It's bad, but on brand. Yes.
If they needed extra cash, they could definitely release this movie and whatever else they've got hidden away that we don't even know about.
Okay. So I like how they're going with like the 1994 film and they're trying to do the old suits. I really like that. I think these look great. These are awesome. They even have the 4 on the belt along with it being right there as the logo. And then here we go. All right. Like I said, remember the design and the background. Remember the settings because I'll bring those up.
Herbie, how's that sauce looking? Okay. That is fantastic.
Okay. People say they have a problem with this Johnny. All right?
Yeah.
I have no problem with this Johnny because of how he's about to act. Hang on. Let's see how he interacts with everybody.
Wait.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You're late for dinner.
Yes, we are.
You late?
I just said that.
Are you pregnant?
What? You're gonna be the best mom in the world. And you are gonna be the best dad. Just kidding. You are out of your depth. We are gonna be the best uncles ever.
We can do.
Okay.
Oh, no. Are they going to make him gay?
No.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But no.
You saw how he was being like a playful, kind of dick,
loving brother,
his family. That's in line with what we saw with Chris Evans. I don't know why everybody's hating on him. And
he's not as brutal as Chris Evans. Like Chris Evans would be like almost mean about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. But look, he looks exactly like the 1994 actor.
Actually, he looks better. He looks like a better Johnny Storm than that guy.
Well, I'm just saying that these Johnny Storms look like the blonde Johnny Storm from the comics.
Yeah, but this is even like the new comics. And I read the one where he was like making out with that alien. And his character, to be honest, that issue, if everyone's familiar with it, where Johnny Storm, he has like a relationship with like a centipede in an alternate. And it's not horribly written. I will say that. It's actually a pretty decent story. The story is actually interesting. The weird dynamic between him and that centipede thing was weird. Like that was awkward to read. And there's a love scene where it does the fade away, and then like the centipede is like, "Oh, Johnny." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
If you really want to put it on brand for Johnny, then yes, he's going to fill any type of hole. Just give him a hole as long as it's female, he'll fill it.
Yeah, but that's weird because when you're like because in this comic book, he's not like a half-cocked, crazy wild boy. You know, he's not. He's kind of more thoughtful. It's just kind of like what we're seeing with this new trailer.
Right.
That's not the kind of guy that goes and. That's not like, Commander Riker sleeping with everything out there. I don't know. I'm not seeing like that personality.
Cognizant of his actions.
Going around, just banging everything that's out there. It's not. Those two don't mix well.
100%.
Yeah.
Ben Soto says this one is attractive and has that mom of the group feel. He's referencing the 94 pick that I just brought up.
Mm-hmm.
And he also says, like Joe Quinn, but he looks like Freddie Prinze Jr. as Fred from the old Scooby. Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I definitely
that's a good. That is definitely like a good look for Johnny Storm.
It's not bad. I don't hate it. But let's continue. Here we go.
Nothing's going to change.
It's Reed Richards and Sue Storm. I'm not really. That's not a storyline I really care about.
Now this is cool. So this is where the trailer actually takes a good twist because we've got all this love and everything going for the Fantastic Four, and now there's like this devastating thing happening, and it changes the tone of the trailer. This is a pretty good trailer so far.
Look how dark it's suddenly just got. Not just because it's nighttime, but look how even like where the lights are, it's very dim. So you're like you said, it's changing the setting and the feeling of the atmosphere.
World.
Yes, we are.
Your planet is now marked.
Okay, cheerleader or whatever. Like this girl is just some annoying girl telling me what's what. She wants to be my boss.
Let's break down Shalaba.
Like, well, she looks like Odo from Deep Space Nine.
Okay, yeah, I see that.
And I don't like how they do the eyes or the mouth. Like okay, so she's supposed to be like chrome all over. That's pupils, iris, everything. Like her eyes are chrome. They've got some weird effect going on with her eyes that doesn't look right, and her mouth too. Like it looks bad. And she's not intimidating at all.
I'll say that this is the best chrome that I've seen since Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
The chrome effect is good. The figure is what I'm talking about.
Right. Okay.
It needs to be all over the mouth and the eyes, and she needs to be taller, maybe a little bigger boobs or something that's going to make me feel like, I don't know. Either I need to like pay attention. I need to pay attention for one reason or another. You know what I'm saying? And all I hear, I'm seeing like an annoying little girl, like lecturing me. Like, no thanks.
Oh yeah, I did see her in the early 2000s in those young teenage roles. I just can't remember where. Our Luniverse is here. What's going on,
What's up,
Nick?
Luniverse?
Oh boy, they finally ripped the Band-Aid too early and twist a fork in the wound and say, "See, it's great, isn't it?"
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Okay, so let's break down the setting for Fantastic Four and how it leads into Avengers Doomsday, because this is going to play into accepting Shala being part of it at this point.
Yeah.
So in the comics, it was a short 12-run issue for her first appearance, but Shala has been around because that is the love interest of Norrin, the male Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
Okay, and to save his world, he sacrificed being around here and being on his planet to go be the harbinger for Galactus.
The Herald of Galactus.
Okay. Now check it out. Don't hate me just yet. We've already established that this Fantastic Four is going to be in a different universe because Robert Downey Jr. is Victor Von Doom.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm listening.
All right. I'm just putting the breadcrumbs out there. Okay.
Yeah.
So in this different universe, in that story with Shala being the Silver Surfer, that is in Universe X. So I'm just...
So there might still be a Norrin Rad, just not in this universe.
Right, because Avengers Doomsday is probably going to have Victor Von Doom jump over to the universe that we're used to seeing in the Marvel universe.
But will they bring Norrin Rad? Or are they just going to cameo someone's going to mention him? And
Okay.
what, you mean he's a guy in this universe?
So here's what I think. I think at the end of the Fantastic Four film, the Fantastic Four and her are going to go after Victor Von Doom like Austin Powers after Dr. Evil through the time warp, but to our universe, the Marvel universe, out of Universe X. And we might get a crossing paths of Norrin and Shala as the Surfers, but Shala is going to sacrifice herself either to get to the universe at the end of Fantastic Four, or sacrifice herself while she's there in front of Norrin as a Silver Surfer, which makes him turn on our Galactus. Too much? Could be too much.
Maybe because she dies, he takes on the Silver Surfer.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating what's going on to lead us there. So
I liked, what I liked better was the idea that they were going to feed Galactus the Cosmic Cube. That way we can end that story arc altogether and
100%.
bring him back into this universe.
Right. But Avengers Doomsday is about, Victor Von Doom. And it could still hold water to have Galactus trail over to that film because he is a big, it's fucking Galactus. Okay. This is more of a threat than Thanos. We're not even going to, water it down.
Yeah, but
Galactus
they're not going to
is a
make
bigger threat than Thanos.
He is, but they're not going to I don't think they're going to give him the due diligence or whatever like they did Thanos. They gave Thanos 20 years. They're not going to do that for Thanos.
No, but I believe because of the whole fallout with the Kang dynasty, the Kang the Conqueror, I think Galactus is going to be the trajectory for Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. Everything that encompasses Fantastic Four from here is going to take over those two movies, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because how important is Silver Surfer to some of these future plans that we know about, like Secret Wars?
I'm just saying that they are the plot device to move it forward. I'm not saying that they're going to be lasting.
Well, the idea that I'm talking about is bringing in Norrin Rad as the Silver Surfer. So in order to do that, I think they're doing this to get Silver Surfer out of the way. They might cameo or allude to Silver Surfer somewhere in there, but I don't think he's going to be a major player in future movies. And so I think this is going to be the big MCU Silver Surfer. And if they ever mention Silver Surfer again, it's not. They might say Norrin Rad or something, but I don't think he's going to be like Captain Marvel.
Kevin Feige has already established that we are going to use Robert Downey Jr. as both Iron Man and Victor Von Doom. So why not have the Shala-Ra or Shala-La or whatever her name is of the Universe X universe where the Fantastic Four is now, sacrifice herself to get the Fantastic Four to the actual Marvel universe where all the films take place, and then when that Galactus, that universe is destroyed, we still have our Norrin Silver Surfer and Galactus to deal with later on.
So you're saying I don't see them bringing Galactus into our universe?
I'm just trying to help get the ball rolling, so we
it would make sense
and move past it.
If they did bring him into our universe and then kill him with the Cosmic Cube, then I would say maybe that's how the Fantastic Four gets into our universe.
Right.
That would make sense. Are they trying to get back to their universe at that point, or they're like, no, it's just safer if we leave them?
Right. It's all just speculation at this point. Our universe says to make up for this, they would have to show her sacrifice her freedom to save male Silver Surfer Norrin, and the alternate reality where it was male Silver Surfer that sacrificed this freedom meet each other. I would like to have that crossing of paths. I think that would be fun, but I think she would die as soon as it took place.
How much do you know about this girl, Silver Surfer? Is she an alternate? She's an alternate universe.
She is a carbon copy of Norrin's origin story, except as Shala.
Instead
in
of
her
him, it
universe,
was a
instead of
girl.
Norman taking the mantle, she sacrifices herself to walk away from him and her planet and goes out with Galactus. It's the same fucking origin I didn't know why they did in the first place.
Typical woman.
Typical
Opportunistic. There's no sacrifice. She didn't do it because she was trying to save her planet. She wants to go see what's out there in the world or in the universe.
And then Ben Soto says, I think a possibility will be that Galactus will destroy their world and Doom has a way to escape into another dimension and the FF follow him into our dimension. Yes.
Yeah, that's possible.
Our universe
that
says
makes the
most
most
likely they're
sense.
going to pop up in the main universe, a post-credit scene unrelated to the movie. Possible.
I think they're going to do. I think they might mention Norrin Rad, but I don't think that they're going to bring him as a main character in future movies.
I hear you.
I don't see them doing that. If the fact that they're making this move at all tells me that they have no interest in doing a male, because they could have done him first and then put her in, but that takes away because you got to have her follow the man, right?
Could this be Marvel's way of giving a nod of, all right, we hear you guys. This is the ending point for all these switch ups. Have Shala Ra make her sacrifice as a Silver Surfer, and then we get to the actual presentation of how the fans want it to be.
This is the last time, I swears it. This is the last one we're gonna do, and then it's gonna be straight here on out. We hear you, folks.
It just makes sense for this being the Universe X Silver Surfer, and then having to come into the actual Marvel Cinematic Universe in the other dimension where everybody is.
That
and then
makes
that
sense.
male Silver Surfer can take place.
I would say it doesn't make sense, but it's like acceptable. It's okay if you got to do it.
It's like Deadpool and Wolverine giving a nod to the 20th Century Fox characters. You know, it's like you're here, but this is the last time we see you. This is the send off. I think this is the send off for that DEI inclusive crap.
If they really wanted to bring it home, they should have brought in the last Fantastic Four, the 2017 movie, and killed them.
Cool.
Rip their skins off.
What? That would have been cool. I'm not gonna lie. All right, let's get back to the trailer.
Yep.
As I said, even though
I'm
it's
already
still,
annoyed looking at that.
It's still janky because they really let up around this section here, and they widened the hips.
Yeah. I don't mind the widening hips, but why can't you widen a few other things?
Right. So.
And what's up with her face, dude? There's something up with her face. She looks like Odo from Deep Space Nine, but in like annoying teenage girl format.
Right. I hear you. Okay, here we go.
For death.
It's my fault. I stretched the bounds of space. And they hurt.
You got some guilt.
All right.
So we got a little bit of guilt. That's kind of interesting. That's a little twist.
So you can see here they're in their spacesuits. So they just got back from their excursion out in space, where, of course, I think this is where they came back, and this is after they got blown by the cosmic rays.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Here, I think Ben's going to have a bit of an issue being in front of everybody. I don't know, but it's that old trope of, oh, people are going to reject me, but the kids enjoy it. So,
but he's not going to need a blind woman to appreciate him. The world's probably just going to embrace him and love him.
Yeah, exactly.
Are we safe?
I don't know. There's not enough time.
I'm not giving up. We will face it.
I love the Fantastic Four car.
Oh, yeah. That is a cool car. I do like that.
It's really cool.
And I like that shadow. I like Galactus' shadow on the city. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Does he grow? Obviously, he grows because I've seen pictures of him where he's smaller and pictures where he's bigger.
Isn't it funny that this right here kind of looks like Galactus's
Yeah, that is. I was actually noticing that myself. I was kind of like wondering, what is that?
Right.
This together. We
Good
will
shot.
fight it together
Nothing.
as a family.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Go back to that explosion.
Going back.
Right there.
Right here?
In the back a little bit more. To the explosion.
here?
Right about there, yeah. That's not a good explosion.
I think that's Giant Storm going supernova.
That's fine, but it's no, I don't think it is. I think it's something hitting the building. Maybe it's Johnny Storm hitting the building.
Well,
we got CGI and anime. We got AI. We can do realistic shit now that looks real.
Well,
why are we doing anything less than like badass?
I think this frame was altered because this beam right here is cut off right at this point.
There's no lighting happening. It's just a
this
like, you know what I'm saying?
Here,
they barely put any kind of glow from the fire. Like I don't see any. Like, okay, look at this pole in the foreground right there. Yeah. There's no light shimmering off of it. There's nothing to lead my brain to believe that this is actually in the same place. You know what I'm saying?
What? Yeah, I see that. But I think this is an altered effect because you see it breaking right here at the line and then here and here. This is fuzzy here. This is fuzzy all right here.
So this could be one of those red herrings that they typically do in movies. Okay.
Right.
All right. I'll take that.
As a family.
That just looks bad.
Good shot. I love that shot of Ben pulling the ship in.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome. That shows you the strength of the thing right there.
Yeah, and you know what? That's important. We've heard talks of we need to know what these people are capable of so that we can understand the threat that they face when they get their ass beat.
Right, 100%. And him like trucking through mud and water in the bay, pulling this huge ass chain to I have no I believe wholly that this is a cargo ship.
Oh, probably.
So this thing
got to
is
get our goods, you know.
Fuck.
We got to get our goods over here.
Anything like that? I've never seen the Hulk do anything like that.
Oh, that's true. What does the Hulk do for anybody? You know what I'm saying? He like never does shit except break shit. He smashed.
No, he just punched that biomechanical spaceship in the face in the first Avengers film, and that was it. That was the epitome of his power.
Why the hell is he even on the Avengers?
Right.
The collateral damage is not worth whatever it is he can do.
Let's see it. Our Luniverse says in Deadpool Wolverine, Deadpool called this period of the MCU a low point. And that's true. Ben Soto, she looks like an action figure. She really does.
Yeah, she does. Not even a good action figure.
I don't like it.
It's like those annoying, creepy, like when they started doing those super articulated female figures, the girls always looked really weird because they couldn't figure out how to design them. Like the girl bodies, so they always look disjointed, weird looking. Right. Nowadays they're better, like they actually look like girls. But that's kind of
Luniverse says so. The plot is Reed trying to figure out how to save the world from Galactus, and at the end they have to fight him. Yeah, sounds like the second Rise of the Silver Surfer. Sure. Wouldn't the thing sink? I don't think the bay in New York would be that shallow. It's
Hey, have you seen Godzilla? He's pulling a Godzilla.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know, kicking his feet underneath.
Coming out of the bay? Come on.
Yeah, underneath the water. We don't know what's going on underneath the water. He could be kicking his feet like a duck. Like when you see a duck, he's just gliding on the water. But if you look under the water, his feet are like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah. Suspend your disbelief, Luniverse. Come on now. Unless there's a drought. And Soda says we paid all those tariffs. We better get our goods.
No shits, right? Yeah, send in the thing.
Very nice.
We paid for that shit. We want our fucking sunglasses.
And Hulk smashed Loki around. Yeah, best.
That's true. He did do that. That was pretty cool.
All right.
He didn't just smash him. He like smashed the shit out of him.
No shit. All right, here we go. I love this shot.
Has to be us.
I didn't hear Flame On. 2 points off.
Yeah. Why is he breaking shit while he's...
All right.
Okay, finally get some stretchy powers, some shots.
And I have a problem with this scene.
What is it? I actually don't mind this. This actually looks like what I want to see from Mr. Fantastic. Not like his fingernails stretching underneath door airlocks and shit. Like this is...
Yeah. Well, I saw this shot and I immediately thought of the Flash from the Flash film. When the hospital was breaking down,
and all the babies that get stuck in a microwave and shit.
He's jumping up across the debris and everything. And I can understand the Flash doing it because he's fast enough to do it. You're telling me that Mr. Fantastic here not only is stretching at this speed while everything it has exploded and going at a very quick speed, blasting out towards us, but he has enough time to have cat-like reflexes to turn around and grab that. And you see how slow everything is falling.
Well, it's a slow-mo shot.
Right, but I still don't believe he's quicker than the glass falling.
We will protect you.
Wait a minute, hold on. He just told us a second ago that he wasn't sure if we're in threat. But he's going to protect us?
Yeah, because now he knows that there is a threat.
Now, that was a little bit like, I don't know. Like, I don't like the fact that he's like, I don't know. Like, there's a point to you could do that in a film and lead the audience to be, like, feeling a little uneasy. Like, holy shit. So should we leave? But then to have this scene, we will protect you. One of those scenes has got to go because you're telling me you don't know whether or not we're going to die. And then the next scene, you say you're going to protect us. Okay, and all in one trailer. Save one of them for the movie. You know?
Yeah.
Because now I'm feeling like, well, I don't know if I believe you anymore. You say
standing up and being assertive and actually like getting ready to become the team that protects everybody, that should have been saved for the actual film. Tank Ferret says, in the MCU, Alicia's not going to fall in love with the Thing because she's Roxist. You're just pulling them out, man. That is 2 points back to Tank Ferret. Tank Ferret, I'll see myself out. Yes, sir. We'll see you later. I like the music. I do too.
Yeah,
I think the music
I do too. Good. Usually trailer music annoys the hell out of me with that pausing, like the piano going like bing, and then the dramatic, all that shit. Like that gets annoying because it's so overdone. But this trailer's doing it pretty good. They did a pretty good job with it. All
right, here we go. I like the font and everything, but this is totally The Incredibles.
Yeah. I do like the font, though. I do like it, too. It does make me think old-timey, old school.
100%. And then the last bit.
That's not the same universe.
I'm just saying. All right, so here we are.
Not the same universe. That city looks gritty and grungy. Not like the clean, pristine Fantastic Four universe that we've been seeing this whole trailer.
Well, maybe he already caused the damage, and that was him going through what he had already destroyed. But people that complain that he's going to be walking through New York like that, Galactus can manipulate the scale of his size. Okay? Yeah. He can either hold the world in the palm of his hand or the galaxy, because he's a world eater. So he scaled himself down to size. I don't think that's going to make him less of a threat, but just an observation.
You know, him walking around the city might actually you there's like room for some pretty cool scenes in that. If it's just like the cloud coming in like the last time where he was just a big cloud with fingers, touching the earth and shit. I didn't ever really feel like Galactus was a thing. It was just like a rainstorm. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really ever see who Galactus... Yeah, I never saw who Galactus was, so I'm seeing clouds and shit doing a thing. Cool concept, tentacles coming into the earth, and it's going to suck it dry, but I didn't really get any kind of threat from that thing. It's just an anomaly to me. It's not a Galactus, and that was a problem with that film. With this, well, Galactus is a character, And so you're going to have the opportunity to actually get a feel for Galactus and see how just utterly distant he is and unamused by humanity. Like, he does not give a shit about the race that's on that planet.
No, not at all.
And so I want to get that.
He wouldn't even waste time like observing them or anything. He's just like, I'm hungry, time to go eat.
Yeah, maybe he'll go like, I'm going to see whatever this power is. Like, we always hear, did this ever strike you odd that so many people were talking about the Tony Stark power, the energy, like in the Spider-Man No Way Home, there was the reference that Electro said, he's like, that power, well, that's different. I like that. That's like clean energy. And then there was a scene where in a previous movie where Iron Man was doing the welding underwater and he's like connecting the tower to his own energy source. There was a lot of emphasis on the Iron Man energy source, right?
Right.
So now, granted, this is Fantastic Four, not Iron Man. However, if it's Tony Stark being Mr. Dr. Doom, maybe he did the same thing and Galactus is actually coming for that. Which might take away from the idea that Reed Richards feels guilty that he brought him there because he did his
coming for
experiment.
arc reactor for the clean energy.
Yeah, well, they put enough emphasis on that arc reactor in the first 20 years of that movie, the MCU. I can't see him giving up that idea, and especially with Galactus of all characters. I think that Reed Richards is going to be beating himself up because he's the reason that brought the Silver Surfer.
Well,
but I think the twist is going to be it was actually Doom. Well, it's going to be Doom, even though it's Tony Stark. It's going to be Doom's energy that he's actually after. And
well, remember the timeline. So this is before Tony Stark's even adult. So this would be Tony Stark's father in this timeline.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right about that. But then how is he Doom then? How is Robert Downey Jr. Doom at all?
You got me, man. That's the one part of all of this that I do not like, and I think was a cop-out to get people back, and I think it was a bad one.
Even if they'd have to go to their future and Tony Stark becomes Doom in their universe. Otherwise, we're dealing with a completely separate universe outside of everything where he is, and then bring it to our universe because we already had Tony Stark. So he can't come back and then be Dr. Doom. He could be in this Fantastic Four, except you're right, he doesn't even exist yet. So he can't be Dr. Doom like their buddy that becomes Dr. Doom. He'd have to be either a future version of Tony Stark in their universe, or they'd have to bring in a brand new Tony Stark from a different universe altogether, which would be that's where the multiverse shit starts to pile up and become ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to see how they actually pull that off because a lot of it doesn't make sense. So that'll be an interesting way to see how they wrote that. Our Luniverse says, but The Incredible had more of a spy thriller theme, while here is more of a 60s campy sci-fi.
I like the sci-fi.
Hang on a second.
I love the classic sci-fi, this stuff.
100%. Wait, if Galactus can scale down, can he scale down his stomach so he can eat normally like the rest of us?
Why would you want to do that? When you're hungry, you want to eat like
he wouldn't even care to do that. He's Galactus.
You telling me you never felt like, damn, I feel like I could eat a whole planet. You never felt like that? Some people eat horses.
Out of the 3 previous F4 movies, The Rise of the Silver Surfer felt the most comic booky.
Well, it was the best one. I don't know about comic book. In my opinion, I don't know if it was a comic book, but it was definitely the best Fantastic Four movie. It had its faults.
It shows how much of a genius Stark is and how successful he is. No, because he's dead, and this is a different timeline. Maybe they alternate the timeline where Tony Stark's parents moved to Latveria. Stark is Doom and F4. It could be.
Yeah, and I like the Tony Stark comic where the one where he becomes Dr. Doom. That was a cool idea. It shows that he's so clever that no matter what scenario of life, he didn't have to be born into riches to become Iron Man. He could be literally Victor Von Doom. He could be swapped with Victor Von Doom, and he will still be more successful because he's fucking Tony Stark.
Yeah. Benjamin says, Reed says he blames himself for Galactus because he stretched the boundaries of space. I think he's experimenting with dimensional travel instead of the microverse like he does.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So he could be
Yeah, he's
experimenting with
stretching.
like wormhole technology and stuff, and it just ripples through.
Space-time dimensions. He could
maybe.
be like screwing with other dimensions and brings Galactus.
I like it. I like it.
Now
Ben.
there's a problem because they did such an emphasis on the Infinity Stones only to just disregard them when they're outside of their own universe with that TV show, the Loki show. So is that like the same with the mortals? Are mortals only powerful in their universe? Why not? Why would the rules not apply across the board?
Yeah.
But then I guess in that regard, then none of the heroes would have powers hypothetically in there. If that were the case, it might just be the stones. But immortals, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't. They'd have to. I don't know.
Well, each universe has its own celestials too, and that's exactly what Galactus is.
Yeah.
Or I think he's above the celestials. Actually,
did I call him celestial? What did I call him?
Immortal.
That's right. The celestials. But why? That's the one problem with the Loki thing was that the fact that those stones don't work in other universes. Well, that just opens up the floodgates to, okay, so Celestials, they're like people that can control the stones. Are they less powerful? So nothing can cross over universes, which we know that's not true because we saw the Avengers go throughout the timeline and they're still just effective.
Yeah, even in Spider-Man No Way Home.
Now, wait a minute. There's a flaw by their own rules. I don't know if anybody noticed, called this out, but if they're not in their own universe, how the fuck did the stones work in our MCU at all? If they don't work outside of their universe, like the Loki show says, then the entire plot of them going to the other universes to get them and bring them back to ours makes no sense.
They didn't go through the universe. They went through the time from the timeline.
But the Hulk said that you can't then go to a universe that you weren't in. You'd have to go to a different universe. Because this universe has already existed, so you can't then go back in time where you never existed there. You'd have to be going into an alternate universe where you did. So there's a loophole flaw in this whole concept.
All right, already putting holes in this now. All right, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ben Soto says, I don't think this is in the past. I think this is an alternate dimension where they have a 50s retro future style to it. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
New.
I think this is a new universe because otherwise they'd have mentioned the Fantastic Four and all this shit in one of the previous movies. It has to be an alternate dimension.
Universe says, no, I meant the arc reactor and why they keep showing his clean energy. It shows his genius and success. Oh, okay.
You're right. Yeah. But that's true. But I think there's an ulterior motive for them having emphasize that in the story. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we want to understand he's a genius. This is a great invention. But they didn't talk about the invention. They talk about the power, the energy. It's the source. It's like such clean, pure energy. That's not necessarily saying, hey, man, Tony Stark's a genius. That's like some green. That's Disney saying we need clean energy. It's basically what that comes down to. But since they've already done that and emphasized it enough at this point, and I know I'm weird. I pick up on weird shit that's repetitive like that, like orbs. You know, it's the same autism shit that I'm noticing. But I think they're gonna have like Galactus come in and say like, oh yeah, I like that clean energy. I want some of that Tony Stark energy. I don't know why he sounds like that, but I think he's going to do something like that. And he's going to go find it. Instead of blowing up the whole planet, he's going to go find that energy source.
Okay. Tankford says Galactus is the lone survivor of the previous universe. He feeds on energy and matter converted to energy. Okay. Lone survivor. I'll take that. Sure. If Stark is Doom in this universe, I don't alternating choices or events causes him to be Doom sooner. Like changing my choices doesn't make Elvis born in the 1800s. Ripple effect. Who knows?
You're saying that like Tony Stark could exist in even though this is an alternate dimension, it still takes place in the past.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that it's the present, but it's actually a retro 60s style present.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That could happen. And then
Yeah,
in
but
that
I don't
sense,
like that. I don't think that's as unique.
in that sense, though, you could bring Tony Stark in. Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
like
make
that stuff.
sense.
That's not as cool storytelling.
They're in the
wise.
60s verse.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. Captain America is still around for this. The Loki Infinity Stone gag was a slap in the face to Black Widow. She died for paperweights. Yeah.
Well, that's true too. Yeah.
They mentioned F4 in Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange knew the F4 before they announced Reed Richards. He says they were from the 60s. I'm going to have to go rewatch that.
Yeah. They did say that. That's why we're all thinking 60s. It's not just the aspect, the aesthetic. They said that it was going to be in the 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless when they said that, they were like, it's going to be in the 60s style present.
Yeah. I've been cooking and lurking. That's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see what I got here. Oh, yeah. So this aesthetic. I said this before and I'll say this again. This aesthetic is very reminiscent of another film that we've already seen.
Oh, yeah. I want to hear this part.
This totally reminds me of the Incredibles universe.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
This is the home of the Incredibles in the second film, I believe.
Yeah, this is not their home in the first film, that's for sure. They were like living in some shitty house.
Right. So the aesthetic of the car reminds me of Mr. Incredible's Incredimobile. I mean, look at this.
Yeah.
How different does that look?
That's so weird. That's like a boat in a car, which I like because it is something.
It's very reminiscent of what the Incredibles already gave us.
Kind of like those old muscle cars. It's a take on that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that I dislike it. It's just that I feel like Marvel looked at Pixar and was like, watch what we do.
This is a bad angle for this car, though. This does not look
It really is. No. Well, I think this is a different car, actually.
Well, the windows look different, but the weird... No, I think it's the same car, too. But I think it's got a top on it. Like, the top can come back, and then it looks different.
Okay. Well, if it does all that, like, changing stuff that the Incredimobile did, I mean, that's reminiscent of the Incredibles. But, yeah, because if you remember, the Incredibles, we had Dash replace Johnny Storm, but it's still a blonde kid. We had the daughter be the Invisible Woman. We had Elastigirl, Mr. Fantastic, and then we had Mr. Incredible, who was just the Thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
I like, you know what? So you're saying that like the person who made this film was either a part of Incredibles or was heavily influenced by it. And I agree with that. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same, especially considering it's all under Disney now. They've got access to that team, so why not utilize them to make some retro stuff?
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Tank. Tank says like and share and hit that notification bell. Please do. We like having you guys around.
If nobody's not subscribed yet, go subscribe to this channel, and then go to my channel, Peter Orchard Studios.
And then go to Peter's channel.
Yeah, Peter Orchard Studios.
Which we were going to discuss on the second half of this show. We are at the hour right now. We go for 2 hours over here. And I was hoping Stanley was going to be here because we were discussing on your channel how to grow your YouTube channel niche.
Yep.
And we discussed that a lot over there yesterday on your channel. It was actually the only subject that we really hit on. And there were a lot of good points that he had. And I had some new questions to ask him that I was ready to present, just so we can have something different over here to talk about it still. But
we can still talk about it since he's not here. I know he's got a lot going on. So if he pops in later, he pops in. If not, we can still talk about all that.
Cool. And then maybe we'll talk about it next week as a part 2 to what we did on your channel.
Yeah. Next week on my channel, I think I'm going to talk anime.
Let's do it. I love it.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Mo Biggs won't be there to be a naysayer about it.
Why? I need him there to naysay and call me a 5 hack or some shit.
Right. Universe says, or theory, the 60s secretly received satellite waves from a different universe where the 2020s was stuck in the 60s, but the 2020s BTU, the TV show, and the main universe received footage of F4. I've gone cross-eyed.
Hold on, yeah, that was a lot. Go back to it. Hold on, I'm going to break it down. I want to break.
All right, you break it down. Here we go.
All right. Or here's a theory: the '60s secretly received satellite waves from a different universe where the 2020s was stuck in the 60s. So that would be our universe 60s, our 60s universe got a signal from a satellite from the Fantastic Four reverse, which is the 60s stuck in the 2020s. And what is BTU, the TV show? In the main universe received footage of F4. F4 being what? The Disney convention? No, Fantastic Four. No, I'm just kidding. The universe received footage of Fantastic Four in our universe. So instead of like the Voyager, we sent out like the Herbie or some shit. We sent out a satellite in the Fantastic Four reverse. It brought back Galactus, which then and we sent video footage of the Fantastic Four to our universe because he was stretching space and time. I get it.
Okay.
Am I right? Universe? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm way off.
Wait a tick. Lazo, if I travel back to 1969 and I was frozen in 1967, presumably I could go visit my frozen self. But if I'm still frozen in 1967, how could I have been unthawed in the 90s and traveled back to, oh no, I've gone cross-eyed.
That's funny.
Very 1960s. Oh, Paulus Arts has shown up.
Hey, what's up, Paulus Arts?
What?
I was just looking at a. Okay, now I'm seeing. Oh, hold on. A Stanley Orchard Shorts video.
But Fantastic Four was first. I get that, but The Incredibles did it way better. And the aesthetic came from The Incredibles first.
Yeah. No, as far as the movies go, The Incredibles did that aesthetic first.
Yeah,
now, it's a 60s aesthetic, but between The Incredibles, Fantastic Four, The Incredibles did do that style. That
Photoshop.
Yeah, that car looked pretty crazy.
Justin Soda says, I only have one subscribe. You guys have to fight for it. I want it, Justin. You're here right now. You can just hit it right now.
Go to Jake.
And then you can hit, wait a minute, couldn't you have hit his subscribe yesterday when you were on the show? Wasn't he in your chat yesterday?
Justin, I don't think was in the chat.
That was Justin have been.
That was what's his name that came on the show?
Was there too, but I'm pretty sure Justin made a comment there too.
Did he pop in?
Yeah. Tank says he's got it yet. Like and share. Hit that notification. Mooniverse, back at it. Like the F4 universe, sent out satellite waves footage of F4 through the multiverse. Our universe received these waves in the 60s. Okay, that's a little bit more clear.
All right, yeah. Luniverse agrees with me.
I have a feeling that I wouldn't be able to take a hit from Peter. But then again,
yeah, I don't know. You're like
Bionic.
If
he took a hit from Dojo, there's no way I could knock him out.
I did take a hit from Dojo and survived it. And even was able to stream that night. So, yeah. All right, I'm sharing. You know what? Since Stanley's not here, I got an idea. Let's go to his My Mobile Tube or whatever his channel is.
Okay.
My Mobile T over on YouTube. And we're going to I'm sharing his shorts video right now. He's got one that he just posted.
Okay.
All right.
So that's where he is instead of being here.
I got to unmute this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Wait, is it still in your headphones? That's the question.
Paper tape.
Can you hear that?
We're good. Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, good. I had the chat open in another YouTube tab, so I could hear myself for a second. Okay, here we go.
Paper Tay gets the award for the best piece of advice for today. Thank you very much for that, ma'am. What's more valuable than a video with 100,000 views? A video that has an 8% engagement rate. Let me explain why. It's great that you got yourself 100,000 views on a video. That means you got some clicks. But an 8% engagement rate means that those viewers are committed to and participating in the content that you make. Advertisers want to sell product. They are only going to sell product to viewers who are actually sitting there and engaging in the content. If they're leaving likes, they're leaving comments, then that means that they are more likely to go down into the description and click on links and buy products. You need to try to get views on your video. You need to make good content. But if you want to get some sponsors, the one thing you really need to focus on is increasing the engagement with your audience. And that is what Paper Tay gets.
Oh, hold on. I got to leave a
Is
comment.
that Stanley? Yes, that is Stanley. So we were over on Peter Orchard's channel yesterday, and we were discussing with Stanley because he's worked with companies and for himself at growing channels, and it's basically marketing. And so he's very knowledgeable on the type of stuff that, as a growing YouTuber, to grow your channel with your niche on how to do things properly and what to actually focus on versus what you don't need to focus on. Like he says, he says, don't focus on your view count. Don't focus on your subscribers. Look at the duration of people's views. Are they actually staying engaged throughout your whole video? Because if they do, that means that they're actually sticking around because you're entertaining enough. They're not just going back and forth from one video to another just to say, hey, I popped in. So all the knowledge that he presented yesterday on Peter Orchard's channel, I highly behoove you to go over there and check it out. We went for 3 hours.
Yeah,
so
man,
there's a lot of content to take in. And this is his channel right here, my mobile YouTube.
So he's got two channels. He's got his actual channel where he does Stanley Orchard. He does hunting, mostly fishing, right, and beach stuff. And this is his other channel where he was trying to start doing using his knowledge and growing channels, and he's trying to do that whole thing. So this one's like, this is the one I'd actually say go subscribe to both, but if you want to grow your channel, like he's starting to put out some pretty good stuff. Let's see here. He's got that one we just watched, and then here's another one he just put out, or he put out recently.
One of my mentors once told me that if you're not improving, you are dying. So yes, you absolutely need to be getting better, just like the rest of us. Just because you need to get better doesn't mean you're doing a bad job. Keep doing what you're doing, keep improving, and I guarantee you are going to see special things in the very near future.
Hold on, I got a comment on this one too. What did I say on that last comment? I disagree.
No, so what he said is that if you're not growing, you're dying. And yes,
I'm just going to tell him I disagree with everything he says.
Being stagnant in the YouTube world, you can sustain, but
I'll be right back. Hold up.
You're gonna be stopped. Oh, okay. So you're gonna leave me to do this by myself, asshole. But so what I've been trying to do over here on
I'm just gonna go grab a beer. I'll be right back.
You're fine. I'm just talking shit. But if you've seen my last 3 videos, well, this one included, so the last 2 videos and this one, I have been keeping different pictures and videos up to keep people engaged, because talking heads, you're going to get over that real quick. You get over it in comic books real quick, right? And that's the scene that we're in, the indie scene of comic creating. People hate the pages where it's just talking heads. People are going to hate that when it comes to retention, because all they see are boxes and not anything else going on. So you need something else to capture the attention, which is what I'm doing with the videos and the stills that we present. And it hasn't been bad for me these last 3 times, because you guys are still here. You're staying engaged with me, and it's stuff that we enjoy talking about. Now, I haven't started making actual videos yet. I'm just doing live streams. And this is a point that we talked about over on Peter's channel. Live streams, in my opinion, are good for that night. I don't see a lot of people going back and watching the old ones unless a new one has been presented. So if you're only doing 1 video a week, yeah, there's time for people to go back and check out that last one. But as soon as a new one pops up, you're not worried about the old one. So it depends. It's all about timing and when you release it. And Stanley actually made a good point that for it to be noticed or signaled out to other people who are looking for content, you only get 72 hours of presentation before your next one needs to be loaded up.
Or like your big boost is going to be in the first 72 hours.
Say it again. Go ahead.
Oh, the big boost is going to be in the first 72 hours.
Right.
And then that's around the time you'd want to have another video, because that's when the YouTube's going to stop promoting it as much.
So the way I see it is, if you have 72 hours where it's being boosted and being shown out to the public, after that 72 hours, make a short. Now, Stanley disagrees about shorts. He says, don't worry about that shit. Worry about videos and live streams for enjoyment.
Yeah.
So I haven't done an actual video, but I'm working on one right now. And it's going to be my first time creating it the way I'm doing it, because I want to stand out above everybody else's, or out from everybody else's. This is definitely not going to be above everybody else's, but it's going to be my own thing. And I'm really enjoying figuring out how to do it. And I'm hoping that brings in more people, because I feel like people watch actual videos over live streams when it comes to actually looking through the suggestion boxes on your main page.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get probably more boosted with a video than you're going to get with a live stream, because live streams, they're long form. A lot of people don't want to click on them unless they're already following that person. That's why I would say, like, some of the channels that when I first started really watching, I used to watch YouTube for just weird, random, funny content. But when I finally started using YouTube as like a source for information, or like, okay, let me go find source of information, right? I started finding channels that I liked. That was through their videos. I'd click on something, and YouTube wasn't sending me to their live streams; it was sending me to their videos. And so that's how I ended up actually finding Comicsgate. Was looking through videos, looking how to make comic books, and then I found Ethan Van Sciver, and that led me into Comicsgate, and love this community. But it was through videos. It wasn't showing me his live streams. It was showing me his videos, and his portfolio reviews were brilliant. I loved watching those. I wish he'd bring that back.
See, when it comes to most of us in this indie scene, all we're doing is live streams, and that is not how you get out into the public eye. That's how you get the community to notice you, because you're posting it up on X. Hey, I got a live feed. Come check it out.
Yeah.
This is the time that it goes off. And just to prove a point, I didn't suggest this video out on X this time. I want to see how it does on its own, just because it's a live stream. And
when you're doing these live streams and you're in a community like this, it's great. You have the audience has something to watch, and it's basically like churning the butter, I guess you could say. But we're not adding any more milk. We're not adding any more ingredients at this point. We need to like make videos in order to get some new people in here, so we can grow. And that's where the videos come into play, to bring in a new more of an audience, build an audience.
Peter and Stanley and I have been talking about this for a while for our channels. Like, I love doing live streams. I love doing it once a week. But Stanley says that you need, if you're going to do videos, at least twice a month. So maybe at the beginning of the month, at the end of the month, and then the middle of the next month, and at the end of the month at that point, just to make sure that you got enough time to like set up your script, know what you're going to present, work your video, and then put it out into the public. Because you get 72 hours of boost. After that, go back to live streams or do some shorts just to keep that retention coming back to you.
The great thing about live stream, go ahead and finish.
Because the people that watch your shorts are not watching your videos, and they're not watching your live streams. They are the 10-second ADHD people that just need to keep swiping to keep themselves entertained and keep melting that brain of theirs. Okay? So, but there are, what's he saying? Benjamin, so poor Jake. Peter keeps cutting you off. I'm used to it at this point, man. I've been on two channels with him.
Like 3 channels now. Yeah, we started off on Dojo.
Throw up some more knowledge from Stanley, because we need something for the retention.
All right, here we go. And the great thing about live streams is that when you have that audience, they're watching and they're like your videos. This is an opportunity for them to come into the chat and hang out and chat with us, you know, and
Definitely.
and that's what's great. That's what I like about live streams is interaction with the chat and everything. All right, here we go. What do we got on this next video?
It's pretty easy. If you want to move this box, you need to hit that next button, and then it's going to switch you over to the next phase of this. And at this point, you can move that box.
It's telling you how to do it short.
Putting your finger on it, you're moving it around the screen. It's pretty easy. If you want to move this box, you need to hit that next button.
I disagree.
And then it's going to switch you over to the next phase of this. And at this point,
I said you were contrarian.
Box around.
Yeah, I disagree with that. Hold on, let's watch this last one here. It's shorts video.
These are the kinds of questions you really need to be asking. If you edit a curse word out of the transcript, YouTube is not going to see that anymore, and it is going to make a difference for you.
Hold on. All right.
What's he mean by that?
Okay, that was the whole video. So he's saying, because I comment. He's reading one of my comments. I wrote, let's say, okay, this is in regards to you can change the transcript of your video, right? Now that tells me that YouTube, let's say you have a bunch of curse words in your video, and YouTube transcribes all that, and you got all these bad words, and so YouTube's like, I can't promote this to anybody. I asked if you changed the transcript and where you deleted, even though in the video you still cuss, what if you changed every cuss word to, like, I don't know, something else? And so what I wrote was, let's say you edited an actual curse word in the transcript. Would that tell YouTube there are no curse words and then help you in the algorithm? And then, so that's what this shorts video is about.
Yeah, these are the kinds of questions you really need to be asking. If you edit a curse word out of the transcript, YouTube is not going to see that anymore, and it is going to make a difference for you.
Yeah. So does it mean it's going to be a positive difference or a negative difference?
No, probably a positive, because I asked it. It's going to be positive.
Because if you're making videos or you're making shorts, you can edit that like beep that happens on Family Guy whenever somebody curses. You know, you can put that little, when somebody says mother, you can just put the beep.
Well, the algorithm is weird. When you put a video clip like these trailers and stuff we were watching earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they're picking up on the audio and maybe some of the video elements, but mostly the audio is the first thing. It's the easiest low data that YouTube has to scan in order to be able to flag something. A video, it has to that takes a little bit more effort on YouTube's part to flag something with video elements. But audio is like very low data, whatever. Anyways, you could scan the audio. The information that it has to scan is a lot less than it would with video. So your audio is going to get flagged first, and then your video will probably, if it's something you use a trailer, we have done it where we didn't even have the audio, but the visual, it did flag that too. So I'm not saying that YouTube won't do that, but when it comes to like copyright and stuff, watch. Damn it, dude! What the hell were we even talking about a second ago? I forgot where I was going with this.
Talking about cursing, bleep. Changing the transcript.
That's right. So looking at how YouTube works, looking at the transcripts and everything, it occurred to me, well, if you could do something like add a filter on a video or add some extra audio elements so that it doesn't pick up on it and it makes it fair use. Well, what if you could change the transcript and it just tells YouTube that your video doesn't have curse words, even though it does. You could have all kinds of shit in there, but just change the transcript. I was curious if that was just a simple fix on how to get YouTube to boost you, because you're also adding to your. If you have the transcript and then you go and edit it, I think YouTube would like give you a little bit of a boost for that alone. But then you get rid of all those bad words. It's like these weird little. I don't know if YouTube. The way I look at it, if YouTube does this, then I wonder there's the way around that. You know what I'm saying? So if it gives you the option to change the transcript, well, does that help you when you get rid of the bad words? Even though they're still there, you can say the whole video is just F words, dropping the F word.
Lunaverse asks, wouldn't you get sued if you edited the curse words, but the curse words are still in the video, like sued by moms or something?
Yeah, what are they going to sue over?
Yeah.
They don't have any grounds for suing you on your video. But they might not like it. They might be like, "Hey, this is misleading." But I don't. My videos are not, they're like not okay for children. You always got to check that not for children box.
Right.
You got to do that. Oh, and I haven't done it for all. I got to go add that.
So,
I got to go change that for all my videos.
Stanley's My Mobile YT is his second channel. He has a first channel that's just called what? Stanley Orchard or
Stanley
Stanley.
Orchard. Let's check it out. Let's go.
And
So
that one he's dedicated. He's dedicated to just like fishing, and he's got over 6,000 followers on that channel. Not every video has the views on them, but there are some that have significant numbers on them. But the retention rate for those views are actually what matter. The duration of people actually viewing your show. That's the key. So you have to keep it entertaining. You got to keep things changing up. You can't, like I said earlier, you can't just have 2 talking or 4 talking heads or whatever. You have to have something that keeps you entertained and interacting with the audience. So
I got his real channel over here.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at it.
So this is his actual channel. He's got 6,000 or 6.24 thousand subscribers.
And he's
just not doing too bad. And it's all fishing. Welcome to the best family fishing vlogs on the Gulf Coast. It's specific to Gulf Coast fishing. Now he's been doing a little bit of extra like hunting. He'll do trips. He'll change it up a little bit here and there, but it's mostly Gulf Coast fishing and beach and stuff like that. So he does a good job. I mean, his channel's pretty clean, dude. Like he's got it all separated. I don't even know how to do this where you have these tiers, like these playlists almost.
Yeah.
He's got playlists separated from the South Texas season 6, season 7. He breaks it up into seasons.
So the playlists act like folders for your videos on your channel. So if you want to keep like a section, if you want to put all your all your Spider-Man videos that you've done into one playlist, that's your folder. That's your Spider-Man folder. It's no different from your documents on your computer. You're just putting them into a folder and keeping them all together. That's what a playlist is.
I'm in a couple of these videos. This is when he went offshore. Which one was I in?
I don't know, but shouldn't you get some kind of like royalties or something for that?
Right? I should, right? I need to sue him.
That's right. You didn't sign anything.
I'm going to sue his ass. I was in the video, but I didn't agree to nothing. He didn't ask me.
Luniverse says, let's say I draw a picture and in the background I tell the story of picture, like a short story or a talking topic, or who would win in a fight. Is that consistent? If not, how to be it's consistent with what you're delivering to your audience. So like what we do on my channel is we talk video games, we talk comics, we do reviews of indie comics, and we talk about the movies that are being that are in development from comics. So it's very much oriented to comic related content. And if you stray too far from that, it's going to look at it like a red flag and be like, well, dock this video because it doesn't matter. And you might have to work at getting those extra views that you just had.
If it's drew a picture, I'm trying to understand the scenario. He's drawing a picture and then telling a story.
What he does.
Yeah. Like he wants to talk about, and he has like a picture. Well, what's the question is about consistency? Like, as if that's how you do it every video? Is that what you're asking?
I'm not sure what he's. Make it a little bit more clear for us, Luniverse, and we'll try to answer you properly. But yeah, like when I was talking to Stanley, I was talking to him like showing him other videos of YouTubers saying what to do or what not to do, and he said, "Don't pay attention to those. Just do yours. Check out your YouTube studio and see what your statistics and data shows. Look at your analytics and see what's actually being retentive, what videos are holding the most views, and then look at those videos that you've done and see what you can do that's more reminiscent of what's getting views. How are you retaining that audience for them to stay there that long? And then copy and do that in the next video. Extend on being able to do that. Just it's a grind, but it's something that you got to be committed to if you want to grow a channel instead of just having the same people come in, which isn't bad. I love the people that are in our chat all the time. Ben's an awesome guy. Tank's awesome. Don's awesome. D-Wag, out of this world. And so I love having those guys come back, but I want them to be able to interact with new people and grow them. That way, when I go and I start collaborating on their channel or they come over here, we've got new viewers, not only for here, that we can send them over there and see if they like what's going on over there. It's very much just us trying to bring people out and into our domain. Because we have an umbrella, but that umbrella is broken up. Like we've said many times, there's factions now. So instead of just trying to glue everybody together, because as much as that sounds great, Stanley or Peter, I don't know if that's going to happen.
If I talk about comic topics, then reviews, and all of a suddenly I tell a short story, is that too different because I want to talk comics art review? No. That's fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You're keeping it fresh, and it'd be a diff. What would be weird would be if like you're talking about topics like reviews, and then you're talking about comics, and then you're going to talk about the phases of the moon or astrology or some shit. You know what I mean?
It's like this show that we're doing right now.
You could
since we started talking about the YouTube content and how to grow channels and whatnot, my views have dipped 3 people already because it's different from what people came here that are used to seeing. We were talking about comics and the comic films that are being adapted. Now that we went on off an exit and onto a new topic, it's not retaining people because it's not something that they're interested in. So you have to know your audience to retain them and keep them coming back. If you go off too far, you're not going to be keeping those people in, and your retention rate in your algorithm is going to be decreasing, which is something that you want to keep going.
And he says as long as it's still within comic creative theme. But here's the trick: you could do. You could turn anything into that, basically, as long as you do that. Like you could talk about hunting, and then you could wrangle it back into comic books and stuff.
Right, like right now, like we're talking about how to grow the channel. What are other comic book channels that you watch that you enjoy and you want to kind of emulate and adapt and do your own way? I love watching Casually Comics. I think she is great at delivering what a story entails. I love how she gives off her own ideas. She's a little bit sassy, and she's always wearing a different wig or something. Her outfit usually matches the characters and the stories that she's talking about, and she's got a great personality. She's very charismatic. And yeah, Casually Comics is one that I watch all the time. I want to try and emulate that. Another one that I watch is Shady Do-Rags. He's got great content. He is an engineer, and he decided to become a YouTuber. And his content's great. He mostly does King of the Hill, which I love King of the Hill. But he also does comic stuff like Teen Titans, Justice League, the animated series. He talks about Daria. So these are shows that he talks about at an intellectual level, discussing
arts.
Huh?
The culture and the arts,
Yeah, culture and the arts and stuff like that. And so those are the kind of shows that I enjoy watching. I'm not sure I can actually emulate that because, my IQ is not engineer level.
If that guy started talking about taxes,
no shit.
Probably be like, I'm not sure I want to watch this. Unless he somehow goes like, hey, comic creators, here's the trick you need to know when doing your taxes. You can write off every comic book you've ever bought. Like that would tie them together. You could make it work.
It's still related to it. It might not retain as many people because some might not be interested in that because they're not creating comics, but those that are in your community are definitely going to appreciate that later down the road.
I would love to know how I could write my comics off as tax returns.
Oh, I would too. That'd be
business
so great.
Expense? I don't know.
I would have been doing it the last 3 years.
Right? That's like an extra $1,000. A year, you know what I mean? That'd be that's a video that needs to be made.
You got a video to pop up?
Oh, okay. I saw my car in this video.
Oh,
And
okay.
I think I know. I don't want to watch the whole thing. It's like 11 minutes, and I don't see me at all in here yet.
Like a good question that I had for Stanley that I wanted to ask him. Let me.
There I am, right there.
Let me bring it up. Crap. I had to write these down because I couldn't think.
We did a sharkathon where we go to like hunting. We go like fishing sharks and shit. It's like a big shark fishing contest. It's a lot of fun. Several days. We go camp out at the beach. This is me, still asleep at like 10:30 in the morning. Everybody's already fishing, and I'm still crashed out in the car because I was so tired from staying up late and drinking.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's funny. That's in my little FJ. That's my tent. That's funny.
So a question I would have asked Stanley if he were here would be, collaboration is huge on YouTube, right? We're always popping over to other people's channels and having them on here. That's collaborating. But how would you decide who you to collaborate with, and what's been his most successful collaboration in terms of driving his growth? That would have been a good one.
I need a funny, weird panel like to pause it on, you know?
That right there. He looks funny. He looks funny there too. He looks funny there.
There. I'll leave it on this.
Funny looking guy.
As long as it's still within the comic creative theme, and okay, even that, you got to think about like it could be with comic creative theme, as long as it's like interesting for your audience. You know, you could bring taxes into it. You could bring anything if it's interesting to you. It might be interesting to your audience, and it's worth testing out once in a while to see if they like it. But if it's like something that's going to be way off the wall, like I'm going to go talk about, I don't know, like hot dogs or some shit. I've tried to do barbecue streams because I love to barbecue. Nobody watches my barbecue streams. I might do them anyways, just because I like doing them. They're fun.
Oh, yeah.
I love to barbecue, and I don't care if it hurts, whatever. Like it's fun. So it's your channel. Do what you want with it, but. Yeah.
Call it Comics on the Grill.
I actually wanted to pair comic books with like meals. Like what comic would you read with like a prime rib or like a New York steak? You know what? Screw New York steak.
So if I'm thinking New York steak and the characters that would encompass that, I would think Wolverine. I would think.
No, I wouldn't do Wolverine.
I would, because
he's
always in a fucking bar or a steakhouse. That's where he hangs out. He would have a steak and a beer.
Yeah, but okay. When I think of New York steaks, I think of a thin strip of a steak.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Wolverine. Wolverine's like a big ribeye, dude. Big ribeye and a fucking pint of beer.
Okay. So who would you pair with sushi?
Oh God, sushi would be.
Don't say she.
No, I was like going with the tropes. I was gonna say like Aquaman or something, but no.
Oh my God, yeah, that'd be good.
There's better ones than Aquaman.
Namor.
Actually, Namor. I actually like reading Namor books more than Aquaman books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually had some Namor books, and I enjoyed reading those. Those were fun. And maybe it was the art. I was a kid.
See, he fell for it. She is Psylocke or Lady Deathstrike.
I actually agree with Psylocke, but there's not a Psylocke book though, right? I could see Lady Deathstrike. I
think there is.
Oh, you know what? Actually, there is. I don't know if sushi would be the best thing, but raw fish. There's an issue of Marvel Comics Presents Wolverine. It's one of the first comic books I ever got. He's like on a pirate ship or some shit. It's back when he was Patch. He like went and swam he went into the ocean and like caught a shark with his blades, right? And then took it back to the ship and sliced it up with his blades. And then he was like eating a big old chunk of shark steak, right?
Okay.
I love that book. I love that concept that Wolverine just go out and hunt and just cut shit up with his. He doesn't need anything. He's got it all. He can go kill a shark like Waterworld and then cook it up on the boat. It was a really fun book, and I would eat like raw tuna or like a raw fish, like salmon or something, with that book.
Okay.
I don't know what you drink. What kind of a beverage would you have with that? Some kind of raw fish. The thing about sushi is it's wrapped up and it's got the rice and everything. I
personally love peach sake. Peach sake is great. It's just a sweet rice wine, but it is so good. And after 2 little shots, because you don't drink much sake, I am fucking just good. I feel loose, juicy, and warm. Yeah, peach sake is a good one.
A good, like, just any good sake, but I could see peach sake being pretty good. I'm not a big fan of peach flavoring, but peach sake does sound appealing to me. I could see that.
So when you're thinking of creating and making a comic, this channel helped me out a lot. I'm going to show it here real quick.
Yeah, I'll stop sharing this.
Okay. Film Courage. Okay, so they have a bunch of different directors, writers, producers on this show, explaining their experience and how they tackle stories. Beginner's Guide to Making Movies That Make Money. Okay. Business of movies, editing, first steps. That's a good one. Editing. A lot of people need editors on their books. And even though some of them that say they need editors don't actually fucking do it themselves. So fuck them. Don't ever listen to them about anything.
Yeah,
but
you need an editor.
Yeah.
And somebody who's not going to like just blow steam up your ass.
Yeah. So check out.
That's gonna check
out. Yeah, check out Film Courage, and you can listen to these on your way to work or on your way home somewhere. 5 stages of editing a book. What writers often forget when writing scenes. I actually watched that one. I liked it. Writing a book, cost of success, how many fingers. It always works. No excuses. Living in fear. Just do the work. Film Courage helped me out a lot when I wrote my first full-length script for Cobalt.
How many subscribers has he got on that? 700? Yeah.
769,000 subscribers, 6.2 thousand videos. And
when was the last one made?
The last one that was made was
4 minutes ago.
2 hours ago.
Oh, 2 hours ago.
Break the rules.
Nice. And he's got like that thumbnail. That is a thumbnail I would scroll past. But if this is something that you're looking for, then yeah, that's exactly what you would need. And this isn't the kind of thing that would pop up in my feed anyway. So if I was looking for,
why don't more storytellers break the rules? That sounds like a fun one. I'll be listening to that on my way to work tomorrow.
Hey, what's up, Edwin? Edwin Acevedo showed up.
Hey, Edwin. Welcome to the party, bro.
We're kind of rehashing some topics from last night and looking at some cool channels. Yeah.
Stanley, unfortunately, is not here to talk about it and everything with us, but we wanted to talk about it a little bit here.
You know what? We got a better Stanley. We got the Stanley YouTube channel. We don't need the real thing anymore. We've got his channel.
Yeah.
We get to listen to him talk for days. You hear that, Stanley? We don't need you. We got your channel.
But yeah, these are some of my favorite things to watch. Like one day ago, what writers often forget when writing scenes. 5 stages of editing a book. 5 stages of writing a book.
I need to read these. I need to watch these.
These are good. These help me out a lot. And whenever I feel like I'm in a funk and I don't want to write or anything, listening to these videos on Film Courage helped me out a lot just to get that rejuvenated back in me. It's like taking a cup of coffee for your soul, for that creative spirit. I love Film Courage. I have not unsubscribed to them in 4 years. They are my go-to.
I'm going to go subscribe right now and start watching their videos. I have to subscribe, otherwise I'll forget.
As you can see, they have many different writers, authors, directors, script writers, and I have not had a bad experience on Film Courage. 3 practical ways to become a director. The tag right there says no experience. So no experience needed to do it. You're just getting started is what he's saying. Look, story structure, learning screenplay story structure. I use screenplay script writing for when I write my scripts and give them to an artist. I put down the page, put down the panel, what's happening, page 1, panel 2, sound effects, captions, what they're saying, what's the setting, all that kind of stuff. I love that part of it. It's annoying as hell to actually get down, sit your ass down and do it. But once you get that flow, it's awesome. And I don't mean you need to write like 10 pages a day. Fuck that. If you get a solid 2 to 3 pages out in a day, I call it, because I don't want to overwork it. I don't want to overthink it. I just want to get that scene done, move on to the next. And scenes only consist of 2 to 4 pages mostly.
I've got a scene that I'm like trying to. It's an important scene in a book, so I'm like focusing on making sure that's perfect. But here's the problem: it doesn't take place at the beginning, and I don't have everything written up to that point, which might change that scene. Is that something?
So work from it backwards. Where do you want your story to end, and where do you see it right before the ending, and then work backwards. If you can't work going forward, work from backwards. What's a middle scene that you really enjoy that you want to throw in there? Yeah. What happens after that middle scene? You don't have to do it,
it's sequential order.
Sequential order, right? It's the Chronicles of Narnia. It doesn't have to be sequential.
Okay. We were talking about copyright at one point. Stanley has a video on that.
Oh, let's watch it.
It's like 15 minutes though. Hold on a second. Let me present.
We got 15 minutes left in this show.
Okay. While we're watching that, I'll be right back to you. I'm gonna hit play and then I'll come back and then we can pause it if we need to.
All right, cool.
Can you hear it?
Nope.
Am I sharing it the wrong way?
Yep.
Stop screen, present screen. I thought I was sharing.
Damn it, Peter.
I know. It's not me. It's streaming.
Sure.
All right, here we go.
Good morning. What wonderful weather.
Turn it up.
Right now. I figured, you know what, we need to go outside, fresh air, enjoy.
It's all the way up.
Let's have about.
Okay, hold on. I'll be right back.
That's what everybody wants to be doing on a beautiful morning like this, is like having a conversation about copyright issues. Copyright issues can be very confusing. They can be very convoluted, and it can be difficult to understand what the expectations are for you in the event you want to use somebody else's work in your videos.
Doesn't he look good?
If you are in need of some higher level copyright information, people that I go to whenever I need assistance, I'll have all of that for you at the end of this video. Links in the description.
Red looks good on him.
Fun stuff for you. For right now, let's enjoy our cup of coffee, some nice weather, and have a little chat about all of this copyright fun fest stuff.
What kind of coffee you drink?
The broad strokes. What is the deal with copyright in general? The copyright protection system, content ID system for YouTube is a good thing. It's there to protect you. You are a small creator. You do not have the means of going and putting copyright protections on your work so that other people can't use your work without paying you for it. YouTube has gone and created the content ID system in order to give you those protections. While everybody gets all mad about copyrights, you have to understand that the entire purpose of that is to protect you and your work and to make it as easy as possible to prevent people from stealing your work. Do they get it right? No, not 100% of the time. They get it wrong sometimes. But the purpose and the intention of the Content ID system and for the copyright protection stuff that are out there, the idea is sound. Now, I keep throwing out these terms like copyright and Content ID. First thing you need to understand is that when you create something, when you so much as take your cell phone and you take a video of something, that is classified as a work of art that you have created, and the rights to that work of art belong to you. If somebody...
Yeah, Stanley, and I'm watching all your video content right now with barely any commentary. I dare you to strike this channel. Strike this channel down, I dare you. We're watching it almost all the way through with barely any commentary. Jake agrees. Otherwise, he would say, I disagree. Go ahead, Stanley. Strike this channel down.
Body goes out and records something. You have to get their permission in order to use it. You have to have their permission in order to
I'm not
make
going to ask
money
for your
from it.
permission.
So if you're taking somebody else's work, there are laws in place to protect the creator legally so that they are paid for the work that they do, for the art that is theirs. For the record, and this is
You know what? I'm going to even text you. I'm going to say, I dare you to strike this channel.
YouTube. Because YouTube offers a platform where people can put their art and their creations on their platform, they have some liability. They are legally required to make sure that they are not a hub for theft. They don't want to create a website that allows you to go and store your art on their website and just let anybody take whatever they want off there. Why?
Hold on. Why about AI? It's exactly what AI is doing, though. So I've heard Elon Musk talk about we need to repeal the IP laws because of AI. Now, there's a lot to break down in that statement because he's both right and wrong. When AI is going to do it, you might as well program your AI to be the best AI by repealing those laws. And the thing is, people are like, well, wait a minute, what about all my IP? Oh, my God. Well, we're envisioning a world here where it's going to happen, where IPs are going to get taken, your IPs are going to go out the window. So you can almost, it's not nihilistic, I guess, to say all creatives are going to be like out the window pretty soon. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think you could ever replace the human creativity. But the idea, anyways, like, yeah, things are about to get fucking crazy, I think, because of AI. But I don't think creatives are going to be affected as much. Like the hacks, maybe. People who don't want to dedicate themselves to the craft, but they might, find it hard. People without any real talent. Or, you know what, talent? I knew a lady who was not a very good artist. But damn, she knew everything there was to know about polymer clay, and she was really good at it. She wasn't very creative, and if I had the skills and the knowledge she had, I'd have blown her out of the water with all my polymer clay shit. But she knew way more about it, so you can substitute like some of that creativity. If say you're not like some creative genius, you can replace that with knowledge and still be a superior, right? With the AI coming out, a lot of that, the lower people, like low effort people, well, they're going to get like kind of flushed out, I guess you could say. I don't know how that pertains to.
Stanley used AI for his things that are coming down the pipeline.
Oh, I don't. Maybe I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't either. I was just joking.
I know he had like clip art that he was using the AI for, but as far as the content, I don't know if AI would be as AI. I don't know. Maybe he could reference some stuff, but we had to ask him if he was here.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What's he talking about? Copyright.
There are laws in place that they are required to follow. There are laws in place to prevent people from stealing your content. And YouTube has to follow those laws.
Like we're doing right now, Stanley.
And they have
to
stealing
it.
Prevent people from being able to do that. In order to do that, YouTube created the Content ID system. Way that works, whenever you upload a video, they take a look at the audio levels for that video, and they see if that matches the code for the audio levels in other videos that are already.
Okay, hold on. Now, this is what I was talking about earlier when I was saying that YouTube looks at the audio.
Okay.
And that's where the question, I think it was probably this video that I threw that question out there, was if my audio, if YouTube is checking my audio, then I could change the transcript, right? And it would like say, no, you misheard that. I'm going to change it to what it actually is. And then YouTube's like, oh, I guess I misheard the F
Well, see,
word,
that's
you
that's
dropped
the
a whole
thing that I
bunch.
get hit with every time I play my grody intro, because the music on that intro is very reminiscent, maybe even be the exact same as the Marvel music for this intro in the films. I get hit with a copyright claim. It doesn't affect my channel, but because that's still stuck there, they can come in, and later if I grow and I make money off those videos, they can ask for an incentive, or they can cancel my video or tell me to take it off.
Yeah, I had a few videos like that. Like my outro, where it's the Shredder from the Turtles Out of Their Shell tour, music tour, where he's like, "No, get out." Well, that I used to get struck when I first started doing that clip because it didn't have the music behind it. So I added that music behind it, and I have not been struck since.
Nice.
And that music is from the YouTube music library. So it's
Well, see, I just got myself a little guitar riff to go on top of my grody intro now. So instead of hearing that Marvel music, so I won't get that copyright claim on me, I will now have that guitar riff going along with the grody intro now on top of that intro. So it'll be different, and I won't get struck.
I have another idea on some of these. Okay, well, I'll tell you about it after the show. But
okay,
I have some cool ideas on how we can get around those kinds of problems.
Okay, I'm willing to listen to that.
Thanks, Luniverse. I liked it. I grew up liking the Turtles tour. It's weird. It's kind of cringe, but I love it. I love that thing. I used to watch that video over and over again. I made my kids watch it, and I still love most of that entire video. There's a couple parts that I can't stand to watch. But like one of the best songs ever, Splinter saying "Skip it, Stones."
I'm a huge turtle buff, and I follow the channel, the Old Turtle Den, right?
Yeah,
and in his intro, whenever he starts his video, he has an intro, and you hear Shredder's voice say, "You are here because the outside world rejects you."
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then into his content. I am surprised that he doesn't get copyright struck for that, but he doesn't. It's really awesome that he's able to use that, but it's not music.
The old Ninja Turtles arcade, I think Turtles in Time, I think had a clip from well, first of all, the theme music for that arcade is from the Turtles tour, and then there's like a couple of like audio clips that were from the Turtles tour.
To show up for the last 7 minutes of the goddamn stream.
Who? No, we don't need him. We don't need him. We got a new Stanley, and he's filled up with information. He's telling us about everything. Copyright. I don't have to argue with them. I can pause it whenever I want.
I thought the YouTube episode was last night.
No, we're kind of doing a rebuttal, kind of talk, like rehashing. Jake has some questions that weren't answered yesterday.
Yeah, okay. I did have some questions, but a little late in the game for it. Sorry
about that.
No, you're good. I'll ask one, and it's one that let me see. I had a few I wanted to ask.
Since we have the real Stanley, I'll take this one down. the better Stanley, I'll take that Stanley down.
Let's see.
That guy spent a little bit more time on upkeep.
So
and the red T-shirt.
Oh, you heard it?
Yeah.
No, that's a thing. Yeah, the red T-shirt.
Don't hurt me. Okay. So the one that I had was about collaborating. Collaboration's huge on YouTube. It happens everywhere. But how do you decide who to collaborate with? Like, what's been your most successful collaboration in terms of driving your growth?
I don't think that matters. The thing about collaborations is that, like, everybody's like, you know, there's a couple of channels that I'm buddies with. They're like 500,000 subscriber channels. Mm-hmm. And so the idea is like, oh, I want to do a collaboration with these guys because I want to siphon off some of those numbers. And that's not what a collaboration is about. That's not how that works. That's the wrong mindset. Like, personally, I love you working with it's uncommon to actually find this because everybody's so full of themselves. But I love finding like a 50 subscriber channel because like they have that mentality for one. They have there's that weird like oh they've got big numbers. I want to collaborate with that guy, but it kind of sets you up as an authority in the space. Where if you're working with these other guys, like you set yourself up as like somebody who's I'm a contributing member of this community. I want to be like working with these guys. Whereas that 500 subscriber or 500,000 subscriber guy can be a little bit more difficult to get in the door with.
Sure.
So it really comes down to personality and like, the person. It's not about the numbers. It's not about the metrics and everything. It's just about like, finding that person who it's a fun conversation. It's enjoyed. Like, I don't like, you guys are awesome. I love doing this. This is the kind of collaboration that I enjoy regardless of numbers or topic or anything else. I think that's the most important.
So yeah, because I enjoy having when he's here, I enjoy having Ben Soto on here. I enjoy having D-Wag pop in on his random occasions. I love having Mo Biggs in the chat. And even though he's not on screen with us, he's very much part of the show when he appears, right? Like he keeps it fresh and he keeps interacting and engaging with us, and we go back and forth with him. But I'm not.
And
I'm
Luniverse
not
too. Luniverse is here. We're having conversations.
Yeah,
that's some cool ideas too. When we're talking about pairing food and comics,
right?
Yeah, that was some good ones.
So when it comes to like when Luniverse gets a channel going where he's like comfortable enough with his own stuff, I wouldn't mind, collaborating with him, having him come over here, going over there, this and that and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't. It'd be awesome to collaborate with the ones that already have some followers and whatnot, but again, it's
I'd rather have
a small channel and they don't see any need to come over here, right? So until I get those numbers, then they'll be like, oh, I need to go collaborate with him. And then I'm going to next that. I don't want you over here if you're not willing to collaborate with me while I'm at my low point.
Well, like Zombie Boy is awesome. I like when where's Zombie Boy, by the way?
I have Zombie Boy on here, no problem.
Yeah, Zombie Boy's great. He's great on the channel. Talking to him and looking at his comic book has always been fun. So it's like people like Zombie Boy. I don't know how many subscribers he has, but
I don't either. Great. But he sent me a message today. He said he got his camera in the mail today.
Oh yeah,
nice.
That's cool.
That's cool.
So we'll see what happens with him over on his channel if he uses the camera or not. Now,
I could see an advantage having if you were like if we had a team up like what we've been doing, bouncing around each other's. If we had like a central show that we had maybe on a separate channel, or like the Jack Show bounces between all of those guys' channels, but it's the Jack Show. And what week is the Jack Show on? Well, clearly that audience is going to follow every one of those people. And so you know those every subscriber that the new comes, they all are going to get that subscriber so that they don't miss a Jack Show. Stanley does the Outdoors Live crew or the Outdoors Crew Live, and they used to do it where y'all bounced around each other's channels. That's got to help at least with like subscribers or viewers or something.
We tried different things. We bounced it around. And then we went to we did that for like 2 years, and then we've been doing it for about a year and a half now on its own channel. I'll be honest with you, I don't see any difference. Like it's a really small crowd. It's we run the second largest fishing and hunting Discord server in like there. Period.
The world.
And so, but yeah, in the world, however you want to put that, and we're the fastest growing.
And this
but like
universe.
all that traffic, like everything that we get is all Discord people from that. And it's not that many. And a lot of them actually, they just prefer just to listen to it on their way to work the next morning. They don't really show up, for the actual live stream itself. So the numbers on that are pretty small. I haven't seen like between switching and between having it its own hub, I haven't seen any difference in the numbers.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's also not heavily predicated on getting numbers either. Like there are things that we could be doing to change that to where we could be a little bit more focused on numbers, and we don't do that stuff.
Yeah. Numbers can be good, but detrimental as well. Like if you get the numbers and nobody watches the next day, then that's going to tell YouTube nobody watches your stuff.
Well, and if we cared, then we would be doing the things that, kind of like the things that you preach about doing numbers. Like we should be putting videos on that channel, and we don't.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
See, we were talking a little bit earlier about retention and keeping people viewing the show and whatnot. And for the first hour, we were talking about Fantastic Four and everything, right? But as soon as we switched gears and came over onto this topic, I can tell you right now, my views went down. So for the niche of what we're trying to do with like comic creating or reviewing comic films or comic books, talking about that stuff that this community enjoys, as soon as you take a detour off of that it looks like it kills your stream or your video. So you have to keep that niche going and keeping it fresh and keeping them entertained and having stuff actually coming up on your video.
There's things you can do about that. Like that's one of the things that's the worst about YouTube analytics. Like I'm a numbers guy. I love data and analytics. I love all the YouTube numbers. But there are aspects of that don't get explained very well. Sure. And like viewer retention is one of them. Like you see the retention graph where it shows you, so many people were watching here, and then as the stream progresses, the numbers go down. Mm-hmm. But also what you don't see, like what's the important numbers that you don't see regarding that is the retention that you get on people who are watching it live versus the retention that you get with people who watched it 3 days later. Mm-hmm. Like you guys do a really good stream. This thing, all these streams that you guys do is very well put together. You are very viewer centric. You have music, you have the intros, you bring stuff up on screen. You make a lot of the right decisions for a good live stream. And so your live stream numbers, I would be willing to bet like people watch the live stream when it's live. Like I bet you get a longer retention, a longer average view duration out of that view. But then the viewers who are finding you in search and suggested 3 days later, they're not watching as long, and your stats are being padded by the people who are watching it while you're live, and you don't know how to break those two apart and look and see, how vast of a difference there is. YouTube doesn't give you that information very well. It's hard to come across, and I mean,
makes sense,
it can be important.
When I watch, it is, because when I look at live streams that I missed when they were live, a lot of these live streams that I want to watch, they go on at like midnight, and I'm asleep. Yeah. I got to work. So I'll watch it the next day, and if it's like a lull, you got 17 minutes of intros, which drives me nuts. So I'm going to skip that, swipe, and then I'm like, okay, so what are we talking about here? I'm going to scroll through until I see something on the screen that tells me, okay, this is going to be interesting. So that's where you're going to see the spike. And then
everybody does that. Be aware of that. That is a big thing after the fact, because with a live stream, someone's going to watch after the fact. They do that. And it's important to have, like you'll see us on the Outdoors Live one of the things we do, this layout that you have with these 3 screens of our faces on here. I change that every 5 minutes. I'll have 5 different layouts, and I'll switch it from this to where it's all zoomed in on all of us. And then I'll have it where another screen pops up, and then I'll have it where it's all 3 of us, this right here. Yeah, your different options. I make sure that once it's streamed, everybody gets their full screen version of themselves, where they go big. Changing it up like that when people are scrolling, one of the valuable parts is, of course, while you're live, it keeps them, changes things up, keeps things interesting. But then after the fact, when they're scrolling through now and it's no longer live, these are things that change the viewing presentation and can cause them to stop scrolling and now jump in and watch.
Yeah, when you have the static 3 images, I call it swiper's delight. That's where if you're swiping or scroller's delight or whatever, and you're just going to scroll past all that shit until they're looking at something, and then it's interesting to hit, okay, let's see what we're talking about here. And if it's boring, well, then swiper's delight. I'm going to keep going.
You want to have some fun?
Thing they're talking about.
You want to have some fun? Try this as an experiment. In your next live stream that you do at exactly the 3-minute mark, go and create before the stream. Go and create 3 bikini images of comic book characters or something like that. And then at the 3-minute mark, bring them up as like, this is the 3-minute bikini calendar shot, blah, blah, blah. Pull them up full screen for just 30 seconds and then move on with the conversation. You don't even have to address it and see what that does to your retention.
People are going to watch it from the beginning. Like if you were to like go Make Me Big Again, and if people weren't actually watching this show right now and they were just scrolling through Make Me Big, and then I'm like, blah, 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 blah. It's like Slash says this and that. People are going to scroll. They're going to see this, and they're going to be like, what the fuck is going on in that show? And I'm going to be just like, fuck you, you know, like, yeah, eat shit, you son of a bitch, and here, take one of this. And then they're going to, and then that's going to they're going to stop to see if what was that all about.
Yeah. And then I'm going to be stupid and I'm going to do something like this that's totally just ridiculous just so I can fit in with everybody being blown up. And I'm just going to go, yeah, it's morphin' time.
It's morphin' time. We need to do that on the show more. Yeah, we'll do weird shit like that. Like Pee Wee Herman used to do the word of the day, and everybody goes like, word of the day.
Exactly. It wouldn't hurt to have something where every like 5 minutes, or maybe not 5 minutes, every 15 minutes, there's a thing. Like you've got, every 15 minutes, there has to be something that you're going to go full screen with. Like it needs to be like I'm sadistic about it. I want this changing every 2 minutes. I want 3 different songs playing throughout the course of a 1 hour stream, and I want this screen changing every 2 minutes. It needs to be something different. And it like every 15 minutes, it wouldn't hurt to have something that's like your Pee Wee Playhouse moment. You know, like somebody says the magic word, and everybody's got to take a shot or so. I don't know what goes on, but you know, something spastic that becomes a trope for the channel.
Right.
There's value in that.
Okay.
We gotta start working on that.
No kidding.
That's there's so much to play with there.
You ain't lying.
Luniverse has got to go. It's been a blast.
Yeah.
Time calls. Yeah, I hear that.
We'll check you later, bro. We are at the 2-minute mark. I think we're going to be calling it a night here. I appreciate everybody coming in today.
Oh, yeah,
Stanley,
man. It's fun, like always.
Sorry it was so late for you to jump in, bro, but I'm glad you're here either way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I apologize for being late, man. Had some medical issues we were dealing with.
It's crazy.
You're fine, man.
It's been crazy weeks lately. Busy.
Mm-hmm.
While you're here, don't forget to go over to Indiegogo and go sign up for Brother Kit. It's going to be my 3rd book that I'm creating, and everybody that signs up this time around, and then when the campaign launches and you back a physical tier, you're going to be getting a 6 a.m. magnet of the titular character, Brother Kit.
6 a.m. It's not a real campaign unless you got 6 a.m.
Oh, I know it.